This is Paraguay, a landlocked country in the middle of South America, best known for its rivers and agriculture, but hidden here is a secret weapon, one that's transforming lives and shaping Paraguay's future in ways you wouldn't expect. Today, I'm taking you inside of Penguin Academy. When you think of Paraguay, you probably don't think of coding bootcamps. But here in the capital of Asunción, a growing team is transforming electricity into human potential. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Penguin Academy, a non-profit teaching academy for students from all backgrounds. I will be speaking to the founders, teachers, and current participants. That way, we can learn three important parts of the story. First, the backstory, how it all began. Second, how the model works. And third, what the vision is for the academy. Let's go inside. Can you tell me what's happening here right now?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we're showing these people, there's like about 60 to 65 participants right now, and we're showing them like basic Windows, like how to move around with the Windows environment, how to use it, and using a few like Excel, Word, maybe Publisher, and we're showing them how to use those tools.
What are these students going to do once the program ends? What's their perspective?
So basically they can make any type of like Excel or Word documents, they can use any type of computer, and they can develop those necessary skills so they can land the job properly. Most of them are like fresh out of school, like they just came out of school, 18, 19 years old. So they need some skills so they can find some jobs.
What you need to understand is that education is very expensive here in Paraguay. That means that not everyone has access to it. And even if they do, they don't necessarily learn the skills needed to get a job. I spoke at length with Björn and Delia, who are the two founders of Penguin Academy, and the origin story is really, really cool.
I started Penguin as a software company, actually, right out of high school, and eventually always liked to hire young people that were like me, self-taught developers, finishing high school, watching YouTube videos and learning how to code. And so out of this, I got the chance to develop some curriculums in Switzerland, in China, and other places, and eventually came to Paraguay. Actually, the reason I came to Paraguay, also the reason why I really got into teaching, was that a Paraguayan came to Switzerland. His name is Eduardo, and he was there to present at a conference that was about purpose-driven business. And I was just there to plug in his computer into the projector. And I was like, hey, what are you going to talk about? And he's like, well, we have this school in Paraguay where kids grow tomatoes, sell the tomatoes, and with the money they're making from selling the tomatoes, finance the teacher salaries. And so it's self-sustainable. And he was like, what do you do? And I was like, well, I have a software company. My dream is one day to go to Silicon Valley and make it a unicorn. And he was like, why don't you come to Paraguay instead and teach the kids coding instead of growing tomatoes? And back then I didn't think a lot, but eventually, 2018, I actually came to Paraguay for the first time in South America. 3 days later, I'm in the jungle teaching indigenous girls coding, and they actually were the smartest students I've ever seen. So it was a big surprise to me, because I didn't expect, until then I thought programming is an academic skill, right? And they obviously do not have a crazy academic background. But at that moment I realized that programming is really it's a tool, and humans are good learning tools. So in that moment, after the third day, I decided, hey, there's so much to be done here. There's a complete lack of opportunity. There's so much potential that I'm gonna move here. And 2019, we opened the academy. We ran 2,000 people through coding bootcamps. Eventually ran out of money. So a little later, 2021 actually, started to look into Bitcoin in order to find a way to use the energy in Paraguay. There was a article back then in The Guardian that said, should Paraguay use its energy wealth to mine Bitcoin or to fight poverty? And I was like, why is that an or? Why couldn't it be an and? Because I knew that we needed one more element, right? Just teaching as a non-profit didn't make it. We weren't great fundraising, there was a lot of empty promises, and basically we put all our money from the software development into the teaching, but it wasn't enough. And so now we had a powerful engine behind it, tapping into the number one resource that Paraguay has, which is renewable energy. And so that's how the idea came about, to transform energy into human potential.
Okay, now we're going to go upstairs to see how the students develop once they've learned the basic Excel skills, and they move on to CodePRO, which is the advanced programming class. All right, so what happens here?
So yeah, welcome here, Johannes. This is the quiet area. This is where our main program, CodePRO, it's like going on, you know. All the participants are here, like on this floor, on this level.
Okay.
So where we were before, on the other floor, that's like a first step, you know. They're learning all the, let's call it like basics. And then if you want to go deeper, there's this 8-month intensive program you can do. That's what we are doing here on this floor. So you basically learn all the necessary skills so you can be a programmer, you know.
Have you learned a lot since you're here?
Yeah, I started here with no background, no studies at all in technology. I haven't even touched a single line of code in my entire life. And also, you know, I'm not so young anymore. I'm not old as well, but I think I'm not so young. And I have learned a lot, more than I really expected when I started.
And what do you want to do once you're finished here?
I'm very excited about all the possibilities and of the opportunities that I will have, but right now I don't really know, because there is so much to be done, and there is so many opportunities that I don't know.
How long have you been with the academy?
And I started in April of this year, so it's been like 5 months.
Okay, amazing. And what have you learned so far?
Well, the first thing that I learned was Python, and we learned the fundamentals, and then we started with other languages. So far, I've been learning C++ and JavaScript for a lot of different challenges.
Amazing. And how much do you have left?
And I think we have left 3 months, so it's gonna be 8 months overall.
Amazing. And what are you going to do once you're done here?
I don't know yet, but I want to have a job where I'm the team leader.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
The vibe here is fantastic. It's so cool to be around people who are motivated, willing to learn, and hopeful for the future. In my interview with Delia, we dive deep into what the trajectory of the academy is on now. Where did you start, and where did you take it? Where is it now?
Well, we started with one bootcamp in January of 2019, where we opened the signups. We only had space. Back then it was in my living room. You know, we had the house that we are living right now. That was Penguin Academy. And the place where we were doing the bootcamp were the living room. And that living room only had place for 26 people. And we had sign-ups for more than 300 students back then already. So that was a wake-up call, because you see that the demand was there. People were eager to have this kind of education, this kind of training. And today we have done more than 100 bootcamps after today. We had a very well-established program of 8-month program, because the bootcamp, they were not enough. People were asking more. It's like, okay, this is a good entrance, you know, you got me hooked, now what? You know, so we start doing so many we try so many different things. We try like a 3-month program, a 2 weeks, like another like 4 weeks bootcamp. We try so many things to see what exactly works.
And what do they do after these 8 months? How does it work with the transition into the job world?
We have a very awesome talent placement team that they work with our allies, our companies, to place all the people that are in the program with us. So after the end of the program, they hopefully and successfully, I mean, our percentage of like job placement of our graduate is 92%, 95% right now actually. So the graduates, 95% of them, we place them into tech jobs. So that's what it waits for them at the end of the program, is a job that they can help their communities, they can help their families, and of course they can help themselves.
How's the academy financed and what's the vision for that?
Well, right now, the academy is 100% financed by Bitcoin. That means that we have a sister company that is called Penguin Infrastructure. They have data centers and they are mining Bitcoins, and part of the profits they send to us, and they pour it in education, in training actually. So what we do is job training, on-the-job training. So that's how we are financed right now. But we are also, every student that comes here, they sign an income share agreement. So we tell them, okay, you don't pay anything until you get a job that is with a minimum of right now $450. So if you start gaining $450, that's what you start retributing to the program, so other people can come and go through the same program.
How do you see the Penguin Academy shape Paraguay in the next?
It's so crazy that you're asking me this, because there was a time that we didn't see us, going more than 1 year. But like right now, I think that this is very, very possible that many people can come here, can create a hub here in Paraguay, because the youth here in Paraguay, they are so creative. They have so many ideas, and I would like Penguin Academy to be a hub where all of these ideas, they get the skills that needs to be for them to be built, to be born, and where they can come here in Penguin Academy and they will always find a community that are ready to help them, that they find here, and this is okay, this is a place where I can explore my creativity, and I know that I will find here the people and the weapons and the skills to help me build a better project, a better place, a better country, a better society. So basically that's it. For me, Penguin Academy in the next 5 to 10 years should be the hub where innovation is happening, when it's helping people get creative, where you give the people all the weapons and the skill for them to build whatever they want.
This is a massive effort to foster entrepreneurship, give young people hard skills so that they can take their future into their own hands. Big kudos to the whole team, especially the founders, Björn and Delia, for having this vision, the big heart and resilient spirit really to bring something like this into life. If you're interested in more future optimistic content, make sure you subscribe and watch this video next. This is Paraguay, a landlocked country in the middle of South America.